welcome to the Canadian Scrapbooker Magazine web show. My name is Jackie. Blossoms are all the rage right now, for home decor, for layouts, for card making, you name it, even for jewelry. Spellbinders has come out with a new shapeabilities called Bitty Blossoms to make adding blossoms to your projects a breeze. Get out your grand caliber and let's get going. These gorgeous little flowers that you see on this layout here are all Bitty Blossoms shapeabilities, a die cut from Spellbinders. It makes adding these clumps and bunches of flowers to layouts or cards or even jewelry so much fun. And we're basically just going to show you how to make one of these flowers today. Start off by grabbing your Spellbinders shapeability, and we're going to make a nice big one, so we're going to use that one. Pop your grand caliber into place. Put it down on the cutting mat. Use a piece of pattern paper. I'm using some Fancy Pants pattern paper. And then we're going to run them through. This cuts like butter. Of course you can do more at once if you want, but for this we're just going to do one. I'm going to pop that over there. Take them out, and there you can see how easily that's sliced. Careful when you're popping these out. They are with the little tiny edges that are cut out that you can see. It makes them a little bit fragile, so you don't want to be rough or rammy when you're taking this out. Go really gently. And there is your foundation for a beautiful flower. The first thing that we're going to do to make this easier to roll is we're going to decide which side or which color we want the predominant color when the blossom is put together. So I want it to be this red color. So that means that I'm going to roll inwards, and I'll show you that in a minute. But to get the rolling started, I'm going to use my embossing tool, and I'm going to push each one in like that, and then I'm going to flip it over, and you'll understand why I'm doing it on this side in just a few minutes. You can see how it's curling out. That's the color that I want to see. Now, I actually learned this technique from Donna Salazar herself. She is the amazing artist who created these blossoms for Spellbinders. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, remember I embossed this in the opposite direction because this is where my circle is going to start. I'm going to move that out of the way so that maybe it's better contrast. And I'm going to just start rolling. And again, you need to be a little bit gentle because those little slits where each petal meets is a little bit dainty. So if you push too hard, you'll rip them. But it's not really going to matter if you do because there's no mistakes in scrapbooking. You won't miss a petal or two. And this little circle flap that you see here at the bottom, that's where we're going to put the glue. So that's the base of the flower or the bitty blossom. Now I'm just going to set it down and I'm going to let it open a little bit. See that? How I just let it kind of fall open? I'm going to take some fast drying glue. That dries clear. And I'm going to pop some on the base here. And then I'm basically just going to put it over top and hold it in position. Look at that. Here's another one. Then after it's after it's completely dry, you can go with your fingers and you can manipulate each of the petals so that it can be exactly how you want it to look. To create this layout, I used the entire collection from Fancy Pants Designs called BU, and you can see that the big U title that I used on this page was actually cut out from a piece of pattern paper. All of the rub-ons are also from Fancy Pants Designs. These gorgeous little blossoms were created using the Spellbinders Bitty Blossoms die cut set. Those funky swirls that you're seeing in the corner, that's a Crafter's Workshop stencil, and I used the latest ink from ClearSnap called Mixed Media to stencil that in, and then I used their new Mixed Media embossing powders as well to make it pop. The little rub-on birds that you see and the flowers that are adhered to the photo, I rubbed those on to a piece of Graphics clear plastic to make them more sturdier, and then I cut them out and I used the scrapbook adhesives by 3L, their clear dots, to pop them up onto the page for a little fun little 3D look going on there on my page. Of course, this layout was entirely glued together using scrapbook adhesives by 3L, their foam squares, along with their tape runner. I distressed the edges of this layout using a Stampin' Up! Edge Distressor. Bitty Blossoms! You need to add this to your Spellbinders collection. Until next time, take care and happy scrapbooking.